Good morning, students. You have a joint assembly at 9:30 a.m. Okay, so all of you should join the joint assembly. Every Thursday it happens. So today is Thursday. You have it at 9:30 a.m. Okay. After my class, you will join the joint assembly. All right. So let us start today's discussion. We have covered up short run costs in the traditional theory. Okay. And today we'll start the long run costs of the traditional theory. All right. A long run costs is long run cost curve is together called as envelope curve. Okay. And we will see how this envelope curve is obtained. Okay. So in the long run, all factors are assumed to become variable. It is assumed that in the short run, for the time being, some factors may remain as fixed, because very often the things are not changed in a factory, right? So for the short run, it is assumed that some costs are fixed, but in the long run, the factors which are directly involved in the production process, they are assumed to be variable. We said that the long run cost curve is a planning curve, in the sense that it is a guide to the entrepreneur in his decision to plan the future expansion of his output. So what is our first assumption in the long run costs of traditional theory? What is the first assumption? So first assumption is that the long run cost curve is more of a planning curve. Why? Because it acts like a guide to the owner, to the entrepreneur, for taking his decision with regards to the future expansion of his output. That what will be the optimum level of output, what way should he go so that the productivity is the optimal one. So this long run cost curve will be considered as a planning curve. Okay. The long run average cost curve is derived from short run cost curves. Each point on the long run average cost, now this LAC stands for long run average cost. So each point on the long run average cost corresponds to a point on a short run cost curve, which is tangent to the LAC, that is long run average cost, at that point. So each of the point on the LAC, I'll show you how the curve looks like within a few moments. So each of the point on that long run average cost curve will correspond to a point on a short run cost curve. Suppose you're drawing small short run cost curves, okay, then each of the point, actually it will be more like let me show you the diagram. These are the short run cost curves, okay, short run cost curves, and this will be the look of a long run cost curve. And each of these small curves, now you can see on the long run average cost curve, small curves are being plotted, and each of the point is in the long run average cost curve is a tangent to a short run cost curve, isn't it? So this is the concept, okay? This is why it is also called an envelope curve, because within this envelope there are so many short run cost curves. That is why it is also called an envelope curve. Am I audible to everyone? I don't know. Okay, so if you draw small short run curves, then each of the points on the long run average cost curve will be a tangent to all those short run curves. Okay, now let us study in detail, and gradually we will move on to the long run average cost curve. Okay, so let us examine in detail how the LAC is derived from the SRC, short run cost curves. So long run average cost curve will be derived from many short run cost curves. Assume as a first approximation that the available technology to the firm at a particular point of time includes three methods of production. Assume in the very first step that the available technology that the farm is using at a particular point of time includes three methods of production, each with a different plant size. Just a moment. So the technology which is available to the farm at any point of time includes three different methods of production. Okay, three different methods of production, each with a different plant size. Okay, the three methods of production will have a different plant size. The plant sizes are small plant, medium plant, and the large plant. Now, in order to describe the long run average cost curve, we are first dividing the methods of production with respect to the size of the plant. Okay, three different sizes. The sizes are small plant, medium plant, and the large plant. The small plant operates with costs denoted by the curve SAC1. Say these are the curves, cost curves. Now first we are mentioning that the SAC curve, the first curve is determining the small plant, which operates with the costs that are denoted by this first SAC curve. The medium-sized plant operates with the costs on the SAC2 curve. So SAC1 is for small plant, SAC2 is for the medium plant, and SAC3 is for the large size plant. Okay. If the firm plans to produce output X3, now look at the x-axis. If the firm is planning to produce the output X3, where is X3? At the very last point. See, very last point is the X3. It will choose the small plant. Wait, if the firm plans to produce output X3, if it wants to produce X2, it will choose the medium plant. I think the diagram is not correct. Wait, another diagram has to be there, which is the figure 4.12. This is the one, but this diagram is not matching with the description. Just a minute, okay, let me check. Chirag, you want to say something? Okay.
No, ma'am, sorry. It was just an error.
If the firm plans to produce output X3, my God, it is not clear also. Okay, for now, don't read these two lines, okay? Let us check. Let us move ahead and then we'll go on check. Otherwise, it will eat up time. Okay, if the farm starts with a small plant and its demand gradually increases, then it will produce at lower costs up to X1 dash. Now say, think about yesterday's discussions during this week. That lowest point is the optimal point, right? Where the cost is the optimal one, production is also the optimal one, right? So think about these lower points. Suppose we are at the small plant consideration. We are at SAC1 or SATC1, whatever, no problem. So suppose we are at the first curve. That means we are considering the small plant. And we are also assuming that its demand, the firm's demand, will increase gradually. So if the firm starts with the small plant and its demand gradually increases, it will produce at lower cost till x1 dash. See, look at the arrow on the screen, the hand form arrow on the screen. This x1 dash is corresponding to the minimum point of SSC 1 or not. This is the minimum point of SSC 1. If you draw a perpendicular from this minimum point, x1 dash is the lower cost. You can say that this is the lower cost. After this, the cost will start to increase. U shape. The lower bottom of the U shape is the point at which the farm can produce at lower cost. So up to x1 dash level, the farm will produce at lower cost. Beyond that point, cost will start to increase. If its demand reaches the level x1 double dash, now x1 double dash, say for this much, say its demand is increasing. x1 double dash now is the new demand. From x1 dash, it has moved on to x1 double dash. The farm can either continue to produce with the small plant or it can install the minimum size plant. Now, see, as a rational owner, now you know that if I continue to produce x1 double dash amount of production and keep the plant as a small one, then my cost is going to gradually increase following the law of variable proportion, isn't it? If you're still at the first curve and you know that the demand has moved on to x1 double dash and you still continue to move on with the small plant, you will see that gradually your cost will start to increase. You're not making much profit as you were making when you were at the x1 dash. It was the optimum level. Before it, it was very good for your farm because cost is decreasing, following the law of variable proportion. Your production is keeping on increasing, but your cost is going on decreasing. This part is a very good part. But once you reach this x1 dash, then after this, any volume you produce, your cost is going to increase. So once the demand goes to x1 double dash, and you still to continue to work with the small plant, then your cost is going to increase. So what is the option left for the farm? It can always move on to the medium size plant because demand is increasing. So it will think about expanding its plant size also. So suppose the farm has got a lot of money now they're moving on to the medium size plant. The decision at this point plans. You have to think about future also. So the decision at this point will depend on the rationality of the owner, whether he chooses to move on to the medium size plant or he will continue with the small plant. This decision will not depend on the cost, but on the farm's expectations about the future demand. If the farm expects that the demand will expand farther than x1 double dash, it will install the medium size plant because with this plant output larger than the x1 dash are produced with a lower cost. Now suppose if the farm is having higher expectation and it wants to move on to a medium size plant, then exactly at x1 double dash, you see, if you are at the first curve, that is SATC1, then your cost is increasing. But if you move on to the medium size plant, then you are at a very good position, isn't it? Look at this second curve. If you are moving on to the medium size plants curve, then you are at a very good position because from here your cost is going to decrease, isn't it? So this decision completely depends on the farm's expectations about future demand. If suppose after x1 double dash there is no demand increase, then what will happen? Then the farm will be at a medium size plant. Its cost is it will incur a lot of capital investment, but after that no demand. Then what will happen? So some practical decision has to be made here. Not only depending on the traditional theory of cost, but also depending on the market scenario, the decision will be taken. I hope you are understanding, right? Look at this point x1 double dash. This is the point where both first curve and the second curve is present. If suppose you are at the first curve, then you are at a very bad position, because this is the point from where your cost is going to increase. Rather, from before this point also the cost was increasing, and after this point you cannot look back. The cost is going to severely increase. But at this point, if you take the decision of moving on to the medium sized plant, then you are at a very good position. After this point, the cost is going to decrease. Similar considerations hold for the decision of the farm when it reaches the level x2 double dash. Now, where is x2 double dash? See, now move on to x2 double dash. Same type of scenario. Now you are at the medium sized plant and your demand has, by God's grace, it has reached to x2 double dash. And this is the point where if you continue with the medium sized plant, your cost is going to gradually increase. So you would either choose, depending on the market demand and future expectation, you will either choose to enhance your plant size again, or you will stay at this point and manage with the increased cost, because there is no demand, no more demand. So you will manage out there. So again, it depends on the farm's decision. If it expects its demand to stay constant at this level, the farm will not install the large plant, given that it involves a larger investment, which is profitable only if demand expands beyond x2 double dash. Okay, so only the decision to move on to the higher plant size will come only if and only if there are expectations of expansion of the demand beyond that level. For example, the level of output x3 is produced at a cost c3 with a large plant, while its cost c2 dash if produced with the medium size plant. See, now one example. What was the point? C3. If the level of output x3 is produced at a cost c3 with a large plant, x3 is produced with the large plant. Large plant means third curve, right? Large plant means third curve. So x3 will be produced at what? C3. X3 will be produced at the cost of C3. But the same amount, if it is produced with a medium sized plant, then we are at the second curve, right? Medium sized plant means the second curve. So you need to expand it till the second curve. Then see what is the cost. It is C2 or C3, something like that. But it is always at a higher level than C3. So it's very interesting. You draw the diagram, then you stretch the perpendiculars. You will be able to see that if you move on to the large plant, you are able to produce at a lower cost. While you decide to stay in the medium plant, your cost will be quite high. Understood? Is it clear? Now, if we relax, yesterday, Saurav, I saw your message while I was disconnecting the meeting. You asked that whether this fixed cost will reach zero, right? You asked that, no, Saurav?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it will not reach zero, because when the fixed cost is there and output is also there, it won't reach zero, but it will almost reach zero, near to zero, but it will not be zero. Okay, if it touches the x-axis, that means it is becoming zero. It will not be zero, because always there will be production, there will be some numbers. The number will be very less. The company, if it continues to produce with the same condition, then it will, some fixed cost will stay, but it will not become zero. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. But Miss Ma'am, the line will keep decreasing as the production increases.
Yeah, it will keep decreasing, and once the farm sees that it is equivalent to zero, then some more actions will come. It is no farm continues its same condition for long period of time. They changes, right? So after that, they will shift to some other proposals. They will not stay in that condition. So it will never be touching the x-axis. Okay. It will
Okay,
never
ma'am.
touch the x-axis.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So is this clear? If how you're drawing the long run average? No, you have not drawn till now the average long run cost curve. Till now, what we have discussed three different plan size and their cost curves, and we have seen how the farm, how is it profitable for the farm to move to a different plan size, to a higher plan size after certain point is reached. Okay. Now, okay, let us keep it this much only. It's already 9:14 also. So you should read these three paragraphs tonight. Okay, the link is already there in Moodle. Again, I am sharing in your chat box. So you please read these lines and try to draw the graphs in your copy. Tonight your homework is you draw this graph in your copy and try to understand. And you can follow the recording also, what I have discussed. Like that, you just clear this idea, then we will move on to the next part of the envelope card. Okay. Once we draw envelope card, there are more critical diagrams are coming. See, like this. So you have to be very, very clear how to draw the diagrams. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow. Huh? Wait, I'll take the attendance. Sarthak is there today.
Present,
Sarthak?
ma'am.
Yeah, Sarthak. I will remember your name forever.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yesterday, you know what happened? I was just searching for your name and it was not there in the ERP. Then I had talked to Patrick sir. He said something, which did not help me. Then I moved on to the technical team. They also said something that did not help. Finally, I found out today morning. And for you only, I could not for you actually, it's not your fault. For your name, basically, for your name, I could not put the marks for your report card. Today I'll do it. Sarthak, what happened, no? Your name is being, your registration ID or college ID, what is it? Serial number is yours, but your name is Deepika Agarwal. Okay,
Yes, ma'am. It
Sarthak,
has
this
been
is the
exchanged.
problem.
Yes, ma'am. It
Huh,
has
so
been
you
exchanged.
did not tell me that. You did not tell me that. Did you know this?
Yes, ma'am. I know this, ma'am.
So why did not you tell me yesterday? Ma'am, you did not call my name, you're saying.
Ma'am,
Huh?
every teacher knew this, ma'am. I thought you would also know this.
Assuming things. I was calling Deepika Agarwal, no? You heard that, no? I was calling Deepika Agarwal. Then you are going to be future manager, no? All this prospective situation should come to your mind. That since ma'am is calling Deepika, that means she doesn't know. And no teacher was also telling me that Deepika, it is registered as Deepika. See, yesterday, entire day, I was just in so much tension, I could not fill out the marks. Also, today morning, I came to know this one. Anyways, from now onwards, I'll call Sarthak instead of Deepika, okay?
Ma'am, but the
It's
name
not
was
your fault,
already
actually.
exchanged, ma'am.
No, it is not changed. I asked the technical team, it was not changed.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
today morning only they said. They will change it, but they have not changed it yet. I don't know why do not change.
Oh,
Anyways,
thank you, ma'am.
Abhay Sharma, please respond. Okay, Abhay Sharma,
Present, ma'am.
Aditya, Alsaba, Aman
Present,
Goel,
ma'am.
Aman Goel, Aman Sharma, Ananta, Angela,
Present, ma'am.
Anish, Anisha,
Present, ma'am.
Ankit, excuse me, Ankit, Anmol Gupta,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Anmol Lama, Bhavesh, Bikash,
Present,
Vishwadeep,
ma'am.
Charu,
Present, ma'am.
Chirag,
Present, ma'am.
Sarthak,
Present, ma'am.
Girish, Himani,
Present, ma'am.
Jaya, Kashish, Meghna,
Present, ma'am.
Mehul, Parvin,
Present, ma'am.
Muskan Agarwal. Muskan Agarwal, any Muskan Agarwal present? Muskan Agarwal. Anyone knows Muskan Agarwal? Any Muskan Agarwal? Anyone knows?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, who is this?
I'm Ravi.
Ravi. Okay, Ravi, you do one thing. You ask the Muskan Agarwal, whom you know, to send me her ID. Okay.
Okay,
There
ma'am.
is an ID no for each of you in the Moodle. So you ask her to send me that ID. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Neha Sanghai, Nikhil, Nishita, Nupur, Piyush, Pragati, Prageshwar, Prashant,
Present, ma'am.
Pratham, Preeti,
Present,
Poonam,
ma'am.
Ronak,
Yes, ma'am.
Ravi,
And ma'am. Present, ma'am.
Riyant, Riya Lama, Rohan, Ronak Agarwal, Sahil,
Present,
Shama,
ma'am.
Shama, Trishti,
Yes, ma'am.
Sneha, Saurabh Sarkar,
Present, ma'am.
Saurabh Agarwal, Srishti Tamang, Suhana, Sujit,
Ma'am.
Present, ma'am.
Suvneet,
Present, ma'am.
Swati,
Present, miss.
Swayam, Tanya, Yash,
Present, ma'am.
Yashika, Shreya.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. All right. You join the joint assembly at 9:30 a.m. It will start. Join 10 minutes earlier only. You join. See you tomorrow. Okay. And read the things which I
Excuse
taught
me,
you
ma'am.
today. Yes.
Ma'am, I got disconnected during attendance.
Who is this?
Nupur Agrawal.
Nupur. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am. Ma'am,
Thank
Srishti
you.
Tamang.
Srishti